Welcome back, friends, to the homestead. In today's video, we're going to be framing up all the walls on the chicken house and installing the new off-grid powered solar electric door. In the last video, we built the foundation of it. It's up on stilts, so nothing can get underneath it, with a plywood floor. Now, I learned a lot from you guys in the comments and told me that plywood will not hold up to chicken manure, and you want to put something different in there because it'll rot out. A lot of recommendations. Some people said double it up. Some people said put thicker plywood, but I think I've got a better solution than all of that. And that is a 4x8 sheet of plastic. I don't know why I saved this. I think I know why I saved it. I bought this years ago for the top of my shipping table when I shipped a lot of packages with my Jeep parts business. And I believe I remember how much I paid for it. It was so expensive at the time that I saved it, but this is gonna be great. It's 1/8" plastic, just wears like iron. It'd be very easy to clean. And being our coops is 5x6, one sheet will do the whole floor. I cut 6 feet off that sheet, and then the remaining piece will be enough to cover this all up here. So we'll rip this down to, what do we have here? It looks like just under a foot. So yeah, about 11 1/8 or so. This is actually over 4 foot wide. Yeah, I think that ought to work pretty good. I'm going to try to eliminate any screw penetrations through the field of it. I don't want anything going through it. Have to have a couple seams here. So right here where the seams overlap, I'll use these little 3/4 inch stainless steel screws. Stainless will hold up better against the acidic nature, I think, of the manure. I'm sure there's probably something better to use for this, but remember, we're in quarantine here, so we have to use what I have on hand. There are no trips to the hardware store. I framed all of the walls up last night, so this should be going together here pretty quickly. So this would be the front door here. We'll have to build a door, all door from scratch as well. All this, of course, is being made from, just things we have around and scraps and such, with the exception of like the chicken door and some roofing. This is the automatic chicken door that I ordered. It just came in last night. I was pretty excited to see this and to share this with you guys, but I'll tell you, after receiving it, very disappointed with the way this thing is built. Shoddy shoddy work. I called I think these are made in Montana. I unpackaged this thing, and the first thing, the whole front end's all broken off. Someone just threw the pieces in. It was not damaged in shipping. This is the way, it seems to me, this is the way it was put in the package. So now the door, has no track to go on. Screws drilled in the wrong spot, and then oops, we'll put it over here, not countersunk, all sorts, really cheap screws. You don't use drywall screws. That's a black drywall screw, and that's just a cadmium screw on something that's going to be put outside. That needs to be tough, and dealing with corrosive chicken manure and all of that, not impressed. Anyway, I called the guy, and he said, no problem, we're working on that, we'll fix that for you. But, it works, we'll have to put it in, but very disappointed. I can't stand shoddy work. Now it's wasted my time, it's wasted his time, he's got to ship another unit. It's just so much easier to do it right the first time. And then these are not cheap. When you're getting close to $300 and you're putting drywall screws in, not very good. No waterproof connections. Those are the bad things, but it does work. So it'll plug into the solar panel, and the nice thing about that is there's nothing complicated. It simply just plugs in. Looks like it's got a photocell on it right here, so if I close that, that's a strong way to lift a door. That thing would power through ice and maybe a little bit of dirt and stuff, but the downside of it could also crush a chicken. This is the back wall mostly framed. I couldn't frame it all up because I didn't have that chicken door, and I didn't know exactly what the rough opening was, so we'll do that right now. I want the chicken door to be in the center of that back wall, so I laid that out here. Now, one thing we've got is a plug. They've got to have. This is pretty shallow, so we'll have to actually bring this out so that we can trim around this, and that we need to get to that electrical plug there. This is not very straight. Quick reminder, be sure that you bring this out from the framing, the thickness of your siding. I'm going to be using sheeting that's going to be 1/2 inch, so this is exactly 1/2 inch flush there. That way we can trim this out with a nice piece of trim, caulk and seal it all in, and that will keep those electronics from being exposed to the outside. I don't know how weatherproof this is going to be, but there will be overhangs on the roof. So let's see. So this is the controls here, so we can set up, we can override, open, close. We can take We can have it stay closed at certain temperatures. Looks pretty self-explanatory. I framed this in here an inch higher, this piece right here, because he told the guy that I called about the problem here, he said, we're gonna have a brand new one, it's gonna be improved in 4 weeks. If you can wait for that, just use this one, then we'll swap it out for the new one, and it's an inch taller. So I framed that to accommodate that in the future. So we don't, all we have to do is take the 4 screws out, pop the new unit in, but so far so good. It looks like it will work. And we'll hook this up to the little solar panel so we don't have to worry about running power out to it. This is a nail plate. This is used by framers and electricians, plumbers as well. When you have a utility or a wire or a pipe running through shallow in a stud like that, and you put that on there, and that protects it from the guys that would come and nail in the sheeting. Believe it or not, boy, a nail will find that wire or pipe every single time. Now, if they try to screw that in there, that will protect that wire. That's going to be a handy unit there to have that open up and close morning and daytime. Is one less thing to worry about. So it's got its own power unit. Obviously, it's got must be some rechargeable batteries in there. But I got the solar panel option. I think that was like an extra $50, probably worth it. And then it's got plenty of wires on it, and that will plug directly in. So depending on how we orient it, we'll have to point this toward the south, and that will keep that guy charged up there. All right, let's put the roosting poles in and then finish up the framing. Well, I suppose this is about all we have time for today. I'll just give you a quick walkthrough. What's going to be coming up in the next video is we'll finish up with the nesting boxes. We'll cut the rafters. We'll put a nice looking roof on there. And then we'll also have to make a decorative door. So that will be the opening. That'll be the man door there. The nesting boxes, I think there's going to be 5 in here. So I'll make dividers that will go in there. So they just have to step over that 2x4. And then they'll have that place. Now this section here, we'll make a lid, and this will open up. So the nice thing about it is you'll be able to come up, and I might split that so you don't have to open the whole thing. You can open half or half. It might be easier for the baby. Lift those up. You can reach in, get the eggs out. You have the windows right there, so you can look in and just make sure that everything's fine in there. You can see your chickens. The roosts, I would imagine there's probably going to be room for 5 or 6 chickens per roost. And they're 15 inches apart. So there'll be 1, 2, and 3 roosts in there. And those are just the 2x material. Nothing over here. We'll do vents. I'll do vents here. So all of this is going to be completely tight and closed in. Nothing will be able to get into this. We don't have really rats or snakes or anything that chews like that. So as long as the electric door closes, they'll be totally secure. And it's kind of nice this here, for all my complaining about it, but it does have some nice features. The electronics there, you can adjust the temperature. So it's just brutally cold. You can just feed them, and that's on magnets. That's kind of cool too. You can just feed them, and they can just it'll not open up, and they'll just keep warm in there. But so far so good. Hopefully it's not too big to move it with the forklift. I don't think that'll be a problem. I think we can build the whole thing in here and just very gently move it out there to the garden or wherever we're going to put it. Before we signed off, I wanted to wish everyone the best. I hope you're all doing well. I know this is tough, especially folks that are losing their jobs or not able to go to work, not because of anything of their fault, but just because nobody can, right? It's tough. Some of you have been asking if Mrs. W could maybe speak to some tips or advice for homeschoolers. We've homeschooled, Jack since he was little tiny, and it's tough if you have never done it before. So we're not going to get into curriculum, but I did ask her yesterday if she would maybe give some ideas on how to stay sane when you're stuck in home with a bunch of kids running around, because it's not easy. So don't feel bad. You're not alone. We are praying for you guys. I hope you all do well. I hope we all come through this unscathed. The thing, I kind of quit watching the news the last couple days, or not really paying that much attention to it, and just focused on doing what I'm doing. And I have to say, it sure is peaceful. It is peaceful when you don't, I guess, you can look at it two ways. You can look at it as I can't do anything, or I can't go anywhere, I can't go out to eat. And that kind of makes you feel a little depressed. You get your cabin fever in there. But if you look at it as I have no obligations, there's nothing required of me, and I can go out and work in the shop, or I can work around the house, or I can work on relationships, or what have you, without any pressure from the outside screaming for your attention. Need to go here, need to go there, entertain me, this and that. It's really it's an interesting thing. It seems like every day, this a different emotion you have to kind of deal with, and it's just unimaginable how quickly, in just a matter of a couple weeks, our lives have changed. But again, don't lose hope. We're going to come out of this stronger and better, and I think it's going to be good. So keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you guys on the next video.